Put on a suit. Drink water. Don't drink and drive.
Game over!
Take it light. Okay.
Now you're more fluent.
He got free!
Up, Bears.
So this is really good right here. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Welcome back to Texas Rangers with the Boys. We are the Boys, your daily Texas Rangers podcast by a couple of pro wrestlers who love Rangers baseball. And we want to thank you for making us the first listen of your day. This is your boy Kev, a.k.a. YBK, Kevin Frazier. And as my co-host says all the time and has been saying all year, hey, look, no matter what, we're going to play 162 of these things. And we're going to play them all. And we're happy to have baseball, even if it's not the best form of baseball that we could ask for with this major league team, which is our beloved 2023 World Series champion Texas Rangers. But, hey, we got Jacob deGrom to talk about. We got a 2011 Mavericks comparison to possibly talk about. We might talk about who we think could get DFA'd, time permitting. And, of course, we've got 3 ugly box scores to talk about and a preview for this upcoming Pittsburgh series. Your 24th place Texas Rangers. Now, if you want to hear me talk about the Texas on social media, it's Kevin Lee Frazier. That is Frazier. You can also find Texas Rangers with the Boys on social media, TX Rangers WTB. Don't forget to check out that website, TexasRangersWithTheBoys.com.
Oh, all one word.
Which is all one word.
Yeah, one word, yeah.
And check us out right here on YouTube with the Sports Fluent Network. We are experiencing some fun backwoods internet, so it's going to be a fun show. If our faces freeze in funny positions, by all means, take screenshots and post them on social media because we love every bit of it. And telling you who loves every bit of it, my co-host, the 300-pound animal, a.k.a. Bull. How you doing out there in Pennsylvania in your cottage, my friend?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're having a good time up here in the Poconos, Poconos? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we're on Mount Camelback in Pennsylvania here in the Poconos. Nice little cottage. It's been 70 degrees all day and raining, so I don't have any complaints in the world about that. I know it's air conditioning, all that in the ballpark right now, but you still got to walk from your car to the air conditioning and that, what was it, like 111 today there or something like that? It was ridiculous. Good Lord. But anyways, I was really enjoying the nice rainstorm that we had to go along with those nice 70-degree temperatures. So, I can't say that anybody in Texas is going to be like happy for me or anything like that. I definitely know that much for sure. But I'm not worried about it. I'm having a good time up here enjoying the scenery of the Pocono Mountains. We went to the top of Mount Camelback last night. And good times. We've, it's like you're out in the middle of nowhere, but like literally like the restaurants and stuff are like 0.25 miles from the house. It's weird. But having a good time. Manimal Bull on Twitter, Instagram, Manimal300, and both Facebook and TikTok @BullPro. Find me on your favorite platform of the social medias. We will talk Rangers baseball until you decide you don't want to talk about this team anymore. But you know what? When the season ends, all we do is we start talking about who's going to go on that 40-man roster. We're going to talk about who's going to be DFA'd, who's going to be this, who's going to be that, who the Rangers in on. Are the Rangers going to have a TV deal? We got so much that we could talk about every day throughout the offseason. Baseball never stops. Free agency starts November, and you got to put guys on the 40-man. You got to let guys be subjugated to the Rule 5 draft, and that's not went well for the Rangers at all the last couple of years. And so lots of stuff that always has happened in baseball. Like I always say, they're going to play 162 every year. 82 of them are going to be at the ballpark at either 7:05 or 1:35, depending on what day of the week it is. And you go watch baseball and you enjoy it. And, it's getting harder and harder to do that at the ballpark every day because you got to listen to Mortal Kombat and all that stuff in between every pitch and Rihanna and whoever else they decide to put out there. And, I mean, look, baseball is like, I don't know how to tell people this, but baseball is a game, like a sport that you go to like talk to your friends because it's slow as hell. Like, I mean, it's a talking sport. It isn't to get like, you keep up while you're talking. You don't need music in between to keep yourself entertained. But anyway, I'll digress on all of that because the Rangers at this point in the season, if anything that they do right now pisses me off. So, you know how it goes. I mean, but at the end of the day, they're going to play 82 of them. We're going to have a good time watching them. And before we get started on the show, I got to tell everybody about the 2-year anniversary show of Matt Ward Pro at Martin House Brewing on Friday, October 18th. Come on out. Starry's Ice Cream will be there. We'll have all the brews from Martin House on tap. So come on out. Have a good time with the boys at Matt Ward Pro Wrestling. Kev, let's get this show started.
By all means, let's get the show started. So give you some quick around the Rangers news. I'm not going to give you the where they stand in the division because they're 4.5 games ahead of 26, 27, and 28 place in the league. So they're holding sturdy at number 24 out of 30. But hey, Max Scherzer. Kind of up in the air. We're not getting any real concrete, this is what's going to happen with Scherzer. Bruce Bochy and him both playing kind of the elusive thing. So I don't know if we're going to see Max Scherzer again this year. I don't know if we are. So I think we'll just kind of have to play that thing by ear. I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to comment about Max Scherzer.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, honestly, if it's a neuropathy problem for Max Scherzer, I don't expect him to pitch in the big leagues ever again. I think this is the end for him this year. I don't think that this is something that like he's going to be able to come back and pitch from because he's never going to have that feel of a baseball ever again because he doesn't have any feeling in his fingertips on his right hand. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but if this is a neuropathy thing from a back surgery that, that's not a back surgery gone wrong. That's just a back surgery. That's the way it goes. But if he has neuropathy, God bless him for trying to get back there on the field and trying to gut it out and help the Rangers win a couple more games the rest of the way. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying Max Scherzer won't sign a contract this year, but I don't expect him to pitch very much next year. And I really don't know that at 41 or 42 years old that there's a lot left for him to accomplish in the game of baseball and to go out there and continue to put yourself in a worse spot by playing on something that really, there is no cure, there's no cure for it. It's got to either go away on its own or that's what you're stuck with.
Yeah, reading his statements, it's just like it's almost like comedic if I were to read them back out loud on the show. It's like I'm doing this, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing this, but I don't really know. And then blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to get into that. I just think I want what's best for his health at the end of the day, and he's earned every bit of the whatever contract money he's gotten. And the fact that he tried to fight through anything this year, given that back surgery, and tried to give the Rangers something is a testament not only to him, but also to this coaching staff and this team that he really loved this crew and wanted to give it his best. Let's move on to some more positive pitching notes. So Jacob deGrom and John Gray both pitched simulated games. John Gray definitely sounds like he's going to come back and pitch again soon. And deGrom, they're kind of lumped in together here. Bochy said that it's possible that, let's see, he said that Gray might be able to pitch out of the bullpen against the Pirates. And then when it comes to deGrom, I think that he said he is closer than ever to beginning a rehab assignment, possibly for AA Frisco, as the Rough Riders are home next week. So, deGrom himself said it's important to get out there this year and treat it like a normal offseason and get ready for next year. So a lot of positive notes on that. I think for Gray, it's important for him to get out there and play because he needs to earn himself a contract for next year. And I think for Jacob deGrom, it's important for him to get out there and really just get some innings on his arm to kind of see where it's at, and then he'll probably continue to work on conditioning and getting himself right during the off season. So that's what we got pitching wise for the Rangers so far.
Not gonna lie, I didn't hear one word you said there, Kev. But I'm gonna say this about Jacob deGrom: he needs to pitch this year. He needs to have something to work towards next season. I don't know any reason why you wouldn't have him at least work through September, and I think he's getting as close as he's going to get. So, I saw guys talking about, oh, shut DeGrom down, the season's over, blah, blah, blah. And just because the season's over doesn't mean you shut DeGrom down. You go out there, you throw him a handful of games at the end of August and September, and you hope that you get some good results from him, and it's something he can build on towards the next season. As far as Jon Gray goes, Jon Gray, probably the best thing that he can do is pitch out of the bullpen the rest of the season for the Rangers, because that'll put him in a position to get himself a contract as a relief guy.
Yeah, so if you did not hear a single word I said, we literally just said the same thing. So hopefully, and I don't know if you can hear me right now asking you this next question.
All right, throw it to me. I got you now. I just it just cut that whole thing, like the whole DeGrom Gray thing. I didn't hear one word.
Beautiful.
So I just threw my 2 cents in there. Nice.
Well, you said exactly what I
said. So, smart, great minds. I'm smart.
Well,
that's my Donald Trump impersonation right there. Smart. Have you seen that? Oh my God, it's hilarious. Like, that guy's hilarious. I hope he wins the presidency just for the hilarity.
Well,
and the country's already screwed, so who cares, right?
I'm going to digress here and ask you a question.
I'm kidding, people. Don't take me so seriously.
Are the 2024 Rangers the Dallas Mavericks, the 2011 Dallas Mavericks 2.0?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of similarities. The real big similarity is the fact that both the 2011 Mavericks team and the 2023 Rangers team won world championships. That's about where the similarities kind of end as far as the franchises go. But when you look at what the Rangers did in 2024 and what the Mavericks did in 2012 after those championship season, the Rangers were in a better spot, in my opinion, just considering the fact that they were bringing back 80% of their starting lineup from the year before. But at the same time, they never addressed any problems besides a couple of bullpen hands in the offseason. They went out and got a bust at catcher to replace. I mean, I'd rather watch Sam Huff take at bats than Andrew Kisner. And honestly, I mean, I don't have any problem with Carson Kelly, but what are you going out and getting Carson Kelly for whenever you're at the trade deadline and you got 1 year of option left on, or this is the last year of options left on Sam Huff, and you got to make a decision on him next year in spring training. And now you're going to play Carson Kelly over him in a team. I mean, like, I'm not saying that the season's lost, because I don't want to be that guy that, like, puts that out into the atmosphere or whatever, or into the air or whatnot. But what I'm saying is that, like, Carson Kelly is a good player, but at the end of the day, why didn't they ship him somewhere where he had a chance to win and play in the playoffs and all that stuff? I mean, I know the Rangers were 6.5 games back or whatever, but at no point, I don't know how CY and the guys from the Rangers, front office can look at what happened this season and say, oh, we're right in the thick of things. If we make a substitution by addition, blah, 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 the deadline, okay. But I feel like they lost the whole season at the deadline because they had so many valuable pieces that they could have traded. And, I just don't know where they were thinking that the change was going to happen, because how many times have we look, and to get back to the Mavericks thing and the Rangers thing, the Mavericks didn't bring anybody back. Dirk. And they went out and got old guys to put around Dirk, and it didn't work. And the Mavericks were like the 8th seed and got beat up by Oklahoma City the next year and got like little brother, dude. How are you going to get little brothered after you just won a championship? But then again, the Rangers just did the same thing with the Houston Astros this year. They
Yeah.
went out there, they beat the Astros last year and did everything that they needed to do to put themselves in the position to be, the team of Texas again. And then this year they went out and in a year where they're going to have more attendance than they've had since 2011 or 12. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, like, as much as you want to tell me TV deal, like if you're telling me that you're a Major League Baseball program and that you don't think that you can, or a Major League Baseball organization, and you don't think that you can put together a TV deal for a Major League Baseball team in the next year. I mean, there's so many frustrating things about the Rangers. There's so many frustrating things about that 2012 Mavericks team. So really, in a way, I mean, A and B, Ray Davis might as well be Mark Cuban, whatever. That's my point. That's my take.
Yeah, and I think it's you bring up great points, and I agree. I think that's why I asked the question, because I was already thinking it. I would say move for move and all that. I don't think it's a perfect match, like, in terms of it's not a perfect metaphor.
No.
But what I think it is that I call it the old Wesley Matthews try. And that's kind of like my version of the old college. It's like the team does enough to get you to think they're trying, but deep down they didn't do everything they could have done to make you competitive. And the Rangers the 2023 Rangers front office did everything they could do to make sure that this team had a chance to win. And you saw what happened. And then you follow that up this year without re-signing all the play, without bringing back a ton of the free agents didn't come back this year that helped you get there. You didn't bring any of those guys back. And most of them were cheap. These weren't like $35 million a year players. You let them all walk pretty much with the exception of Jankowski, who was probably the cheapest one.
Who was the worst one?
And so there was that. And then you don't really replace any of that with anything proven. And I think that was part that made me really, really uncomfortable, was that we had a lot of what ifs. Let me give my whole spiel. We had a bunch of what ifs with Mike Langford. What if with Evan Carter? What if with Wenzel? What if with Justin Foscue? Bunch of what ifs with all these young bullpen or young pitchers. Like, all this was just a bunch of what ifs instead of bringing in maybe some veterans to give you some insurance behind it all. We just had a bunch of what ifs, and then we blamed it on the TV deal. And in my mind, I would say this all truly falls on the front office. And the reason I say this is that if you tell me that Chris Young can spend the money he needs to spend at the trade deadline and during the offseason, he's going to make completely different moves than the moves he made in the offseason and during the trade deadline this year. And I think that the comparison to me is they kind of rode the coattails this year, just like the Mavericks rode the coattails of their 2011 championship. And they really kind of just sold the fans really, really short. And I really blame the front office here more than anybody, because we have a great general manager, the best GM that the Rangers have ever had. We have a great manager, the best manager that the Rangers have ever had. We have one of the best core team players that the Rangers have ever had. You have a great starting pitching core that the Rangers have right now, or had going into this year. But what they needed was depth. They needed a little bit of help, and they didn't get that help. And then you expect the team to repeat a record-setting season with every player in the lineup pretty much, and you want them to repeat that again, and then not give them, and then subtract a bunch of role players off that team. And that's why we got what we got.
And the only really underlying thing to defend those guys is the fact that all those guys that they would have signed that were coming back from the team last year have all sucked too, like Garver and whatever. They haven't been very good players, whatever the case may be. Look, we all like the Roberts and Yates move, but those were putting Band-Aids over a broken leg.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I say this in the sense that, we've talked about this on this show, and there'll be Ranger fans that defend this to the day they die. But Josh Young is an injury problem.
Yeah.
Until he has one season in his whole professional career that he plays at least 140 or 150 games, he's an injury concern. And
Yeah.
not one person looked in the offseason and said, man, Josh Young is an injury concern. No one. No one said that at all. They said, oh, he's just had some bad luck. Well, man, I mean, bad luck happens occasionally. Bad luck don't happen every year. And let's not forget that before he got hit by a pitch in the elbow this year and broke his arm, he spent the whole spring training on the shelf because in first day of warm-ups, he pulled his hamstring.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very undefendable, the idea that Josh Young has been with his organization since 2018 and he's never played one full season of baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. No, great point.
Undefendable.
Yeah, no, it's great points all around. Let's see. I'm going to check.
And another one real quick before we get out of here, because we need to get on with the show or whatever. But, I mean, I like Evan Carter. We all like Evan Carter. But what about Evan Carter's track record said that he was going to play 150 games in left field this season?
Yep.
What about last year when he missed 30 games or 40 games in the middle of the Texas League playoff hunt? Or the year before that when he missed most of the season with a back injury? Or the year before that where the same thing? I mean, look, there's nothing to say that these guys are going to be on the field until they're on the field, and none of them have been on the field. So you're telling me that, oh, these guys aren't injury prone, but the bottom line is until you play a full season of baseball in professional baseball, you're injury prone.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been with Young's been with the organization since 18 or 19. Carter's been with the organization since 2020, and neither one of them, I mean, that's 4 years and 6 years, and neither one of them have played a full season of baseball. Neither one of them have had an injury-free season, and then they're telling me in the offseason, look, I love Evan Carter, and I love Josh Young, and I wanted them to be healthy this season. But you're telling me that not only are you not going to go out and find role players or guys with sticks, that you're not just going to give me Evan Carter. You're going to give me Wyatt Langford too, and he's going to produce like a big leaguer in his rookie season. I'm just saying, there were a lot of red flags this offseason. We saw them all. We talked about them all, but we put a good spin on them, a fancy spin on them.
And even still, even still, like, I believe what you're doing is you're reflecting a lot of the same frustrations that a lot of the Ranger fans have had for the duration of the year. And I think for us, it's just kind of one of those, we're not going to let the front office off the hook here, because in my mind, a lot of the big accountability falls on them. I know the players, because athletes are irrationally accountable. Like, every player is going to take ownership. The coaches are going to take ownership. Like, they're all going to, like, no one's going to blame anybody from their mouths, and you can't expect them to, nor do you want to hear it. But us as media people, we can say the things that they can't say. And I'm saying this stuff.
Well, we can say them because I'm not worried about being in the Texas Rangers locker room. I'm not worried about being in the Texas Rangers press box. I don't want to be up there with those guys. No offense to those guys. Those guys are doing a completely different thing than what I'm doing. I'm a baseball fan talking about baseball. I'm not going to sit here. I mean, like, I'm not those guys that are saying, oh, it's 100% accountability on the players, because that's crap. Because we've talked about this before. It rolls downhill, right? It rolls downhill. And it starts with Ray Davis, and it ends with whoever now, like Walt Pennington, who has the least amount of service time on the Rangers team. Like, that's how it goes. It starts with Ray Davis. It goes down through Kip Fagg and Chris Young and all of these guys that, like, I mean, Kip Fagg has been with the Rangers for 100 years. And when's the last time they developed anybody? You know, I mean, Wyatt Langford, don't tell me. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, like, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. And again, you can tell me and you can tell me that they developed this guy and this guy and this guy, but again, they haven't played full seasons in the big leagues.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let's see. We're about halfway through. I got another conversation, but I'm gonna save it for tomorrow, because this was a great loaded question that got you rolling. And honestly, I think you are frustrated in you're venting your frustration the same way that the Rangers fans, I think, are frustrated. You can go onto any social media out there and you can see a bunch of really upset Ranger fans, and honestly, rightfully so. And we actually reflect the sentiment. And I'm going to go ahead and just tell everybody real quick about something extremely positive and exciting that's going on within our show here. Now, we just in the bag put prospects number 20 through 11 on our exclusive content Down on the Farm with the Boys. So you want to hear us get excited? You want to hear the positivity for right now? It's going to be in our exclusive content Down on the Farm with the Boys, where we cover all things Rangers organization wide. There's a lot of good stuff going on within the organization. You know, the Rangers farm system ranking is a little misleading. And they even say it when you read the descriptions. The Rangers are just really, really young right now. And they've got a really good crop of international players within the organization that are moving up through the system, that are doing a lot of good things. There's a lot of talent in the organization right now. And they drafted a bunch of players that are closer to being big league ready than they typically do. And so a lot of these guys are already starting out a little at higher levels. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. And our top 40 list, we broke it up into 4 different shows. Right now, we've got 3 shows in the bag. That latest episode, which again is going to rank numbers 20 through 11, it's already up. You can go check it out. If you haven't subscribed already, just go to our go to our Spotify page, or you can go to our website, TexasRangersWithTheBoys.com.
All one word.
And you can subscribe there. It's just $1.99 a month. It helps you make us your one-stop shop for all things Rangers organization-wide. A lot of excitement going on within this organization, and a lot of these players that we're going to talk about, we might talk about them a little bit on the next episode, because I got a loaded question regarding this Rangers roster in the upcoming weeks. So Down on the Farm with the Boys, go check it out. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. And one more thing, next week, so for the next episode, the last of the top 10, we've got 10 players that didn't make the list on this, and we're going to cover our top 10. And we're going to count them down all the way to number 1. We're going to take as much time as we need. We're not going to put a timer on this thing. We're going to give you every single bit of baseball passion about this organization's minor league system that we got. And I'm telling you, between the two of us, there's plenty of it. So go check it out. Down on the Farm with the Boys. Become one of our farm hands. And a big shout out and thank you to all of our farm hands who have put up with us all season long. We appreciate you guys. And now, Bull, unless you got something to add to that, it's time to talk about these box scores over the weekend.
I'm going to be real honest. Not easy to get Rangers baseball games in Pennsylvania. Even Bally's Sports Southwest kind of gave me the business and wouldn't even let me link up to my my app, because I wasn't in the DFW area to watch it. Yeah. So anyways, so much for buying a brand new DirecTV box, one of those wireless box. Apparently I can only use that at one TV in my house. So that was a waste of money and time. So, but anyways, I didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot of baseball. I was trying to keep up with it on the MLB app, but lots going on in my life this weekend, so I didn't have a real chance to sit down and watch. But on paper it doesn't look super great. You finally got a loss from Kirby Yates. Eovaldi wasn't very good. Andrew Heaney was okay, but not good enough. And then the Rangers get one on Sunday. They salvaged 1 of 3 in a time where they needed to win 3 out of 4.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, the Rangers weren't that far away from winning these games. Actually, the Rangers lost in that series by a combined total of runs of 17-13. So Minnesota scored 17, the Rangers scored 13. Every game was close. every game the Rangers had a chance to do something. I want to say the Rangers led in at least, I think they led in pretty much every game at some point or another. These were very competitive.
I think it was Thursday night that the Rangers scored 2 runs, and then in the first inning, and then didn't score any after that. So you talked about that one. I thought Andrew Heaney was pretty good. I just, one bad pitch there in the bottom of the 5th or top of the 5th that ended up going out of the park and being a 3-run job. And you know how we talk about that all the time as the most momentum changing play in Major League Baseball is that 3-run home run. And it went against the Rangers this week. They fought back. They got them once. Simeon homered in the bottom half. They got one more in Wyatt Langford RBI there in the 7th, but they just couldn't get it close enough. And the Rangers, take an L there. Eovaldi wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. Henriquez wasn't super great either, but he did enough to get out of trouble over and over and over again because the Rangers had bases loaded in the 1st, bases loaded in the 3rd. I mean, they had runners all over the bags all day long and couldn't get that win. And then Sunday, nice sign to get one off of Duran in the 10th there to score that run, that ghost runner to get the win. But, seriously, not a ton positive to come out of that. Garcia's starting to heat up a little bit, but we're kind of feeling like it might be a little too late for that, but who knows? You'd like to see him maybe carry this thing on his back, but there's, you've also got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to go along with Wednesday and Sunday. So, I like the fight on Sunday and that they came back and got themselves back in that game, and probably a game that they didn't deserve to have really any business in, and got a win there. So that was my take on the weekend. I'll let you, I know you watched more baseball than I did this weekend, so I'll let you tell them what you thought of the weekend. And then when you're done, I will close it out and put a nice wrapping on the box score there for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I think this is the best way to do a disappointing weekend is not kind of nitpick and fine-tooth comb it, because nobody wants to hear that. I'll say that, the Rangers showed some resilience in these games, but I think the real theme over this Minnesota series is you saw the difference between how a winning team finds ways to win games and how a not winning team honestly finds ways to lose games. And I think that was the big difference. Minnesota really they're very timely. They're very you can tell they play strategic baseball. They do a lot of little things throughout the game in terms of stealing bases, putting pressure on pitchers. They just do a lot. They really are a good baseball team. And really, like I said, winning 17-13 over a 4-game series, that's literally one run per game. That is literally 1 run per game. That is 4 runs. So they beat the Rangers by 1 run per game to come out of this series, to win this series 3-4. And that was the big difference, I think. It's just really the little things. And again, and it's kind of a running joke in our text thread that the best way to beat the Rangers offense is just to load the bases, especially with nobody out or 1 out. That's the way to do it, because if they get the bases loaded, yeah, it's been that way all year. And really, even a guy over at third base where all you need is a base hit or a sac fly or something like that. It's just kind of been the story of the team. I feel like the pitching for the Rangers overall was pretty good over the weekend. 17 runs over a 4-game series. You're looking at somewhere around 4 runs per game. That's a 4.25 earned run average. Not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think a lot of it was just kind of the timely stuff. The Rangers just kind of having a really, that rough 5th inning on Friday. And again, it's kind of like the Rangers didn't have weren't able to answer there. Then on Saturday, just kind of felt like that, the Rangers kept it close, but just something deep down had me worried about Eovaldi. And I was concerned that they left him in there a little too long. I was kind of kind of scratching my head a little bit on why Eovaldi was still going out there. But I'm not, like I said, we don't question Boch. David Robertson and Kirby Yates have had some struggles over the last couple of weeks. And honestly, they've earned the right to have those struggles because they've been the best thing that this pitching staff has had all year long, starters, relievers, whatever. So if those guys are the reason you're struggling, it's kind of like, look, man, like that's it. You can't be mad about that. But they did wrap up the weekend with a nice 6-5 victory. The Rangers showed some heart in this game, they showed some heart in this game. The 5 runs in the 7th inning was a big deal for the Rangers, and you gotta love that they did it in the 7th inning when they've had so many struggles for the year. Dallas Garcia's raised his batting average, I think, by like 17 points or something over the last couple of weeks. So good for him. Josh Young getting that fluky, goofy thing that happened there at the end. I mean, you'll take it how you can take it, man. I mean, a W is a W. And
and again, remember last week when we talked about the keys to what the Rangers needed to have happen for them to get those 30 wins that we felt like they needed. They're already down under 10 losses that they can have left to get 30 wins or whatever for the season. But it was seeing something go right for you.
Yeah.
And then like the Young home run, the Young home run went right for him. The Garcia getting them back into the game, and then Young's hit in the 10th that it wasn't much of nothing, but it got one across, and you saw something positive happen on a day where it should have been negative. I don't know that it bleeds over. They got the Pirates. I mean, those are winnable baseball games, but I don't know that the Rangers are winning winnable baseball games right now at the same time. So it's tough. I mean, you got to play better than 1-3 on a 4-game stand at home there. I mean, and it just goes right back to the last 3 stands, like that, the road stand where they went 1-5, home stand where they went 2-4, road trip where they went 2-4, and then they come home with Minnesota and they lose the 3 out of 4 to open up a home stand that involves Pittsburgh. I hope we get to see Paul Skeens. I know it's not tomorrow, but I would like to see Paul Skeens. That'd be nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I'm going to throw it over to you. I got nothing left. I'll just real quick before we get out of here. On Friday night, Woods Richardson picks up the win. Andrew Heaney takes the loss. On Saturday night, Henriquez gets the W. Eovaldi takes the loss, and Sands picks up a rare save on a night where Duran wasn't available. And on Sunday, Andrew Chafin gets a win after a pretty good top of the 10th to get through that thing and not let the ghost runner score there. And the same couldn't be said for Duran there, and he'll take the loss. So Rangers get 1 out of 4, and we not a lot to be confident about, buddy. But a lot of baseball left. There's still about 50 games left, so do something in the next 50 games.
That's about all you can ask for. Now is Ezekiel Duran hurt? Because I don't remember seeing him play at all this series.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I didn't pay enough attention to know if Zeke Duran played at all or not this whole season or this whole series. I really didn't.
Let me just double check.
I still haven't gotten any kind of situation done. Just so everybody knows, these are my show notes tonight because my phone last week didn't stop working. So I don't have anything to record on besides the phone that I'm using as my personal phone now until I get somewhere where I can do that. So, I don't know. I couldn't look it up even for you.
I can tell you
what I'm saying.
I can tell you right now. So Zeke Duran has not played since August 14th, and he only had 1 at bat in that Boston series. And right now,
he came in to pinch run, right?
It looks like it. And then he has batted 133, 188 with a 133, 188, and a 133 since August. So he has been dismal. Probably why we
Explains
didn't.
why he wasn't out there.
Yep, probably why he wasn't out there. Well, hey, tomorrow we're going to have the
Pittsburgh.
Rangers.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we got
a Pittsburgh series.
We got a Pittsburgh series. So again, like you said, be cool to see Paul Skeens. But tomorrow we got LL Ortiz, and we don't know who the Rangers have going. I guess we'll just probably
imagine either Dunning or Urena, unless they decide to go to a young guy. They've got a couple of guys on the 40-man. I doubt that Garabito would be available after throwing 4 innings today. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But I'd imagine it's either going to be Urena or Dunning, unless they're really willing to, take a chance on an Owen White or someone like that. And Leiter probably isn't available after pitching on Thursday or whatever. So, it's going to be interesting. The Rangers are going to have to get start somewhere. But we did hear that maybe there's a possibility that John Gray could be on the back half of maybe Dunning or Urena on this homestand.
Love it. Well, we'll be back tomorrow and we'll preview the rest of this Pittsburgh series and maybe talk about what roster moves maybe if any we'd like to see the Rangers make, even though we probably know they may not. And maybe a little bit more. We'll have a box score for you, and that's what we got. So hey, thanks everybody.
And I'll be real quick. I'll be back in Easton tomorrow, Kev. So hopefully it'll be better than what it was tonight, service-wise, and all of that. So I won't have to run on the fly and all that tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
I think everybody's perfectly fine with it. We talked some ball, and you got a little chip off your shoulder there because I think every Ranger fan feels the same way, myself included. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
A little dehydrated.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. TX Rangers, WTB. Don't forget to check out the website, TexasRangersWithTheBoys.com.
All one word.
Where you can check out our exclusive content down on the farm with the boys, where we cover all things Rangers minor league. Also, don't forget to check us out right here on the Sports Fluent Network on YouTube. All you got to do is go search us out, hit the little type in on your phone, Texas Rangers with the Boys. We'll pop up. You can subscribe to us right there on the YouTube. For the 300-pound manimal, this is your boy Kev. We are Texas Rangers with the Boys. We're signing out.